Hello everybody, this is TechHut. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is talking about Plausible. Now, what is Plausible? Basically, this is a competitor to Google Analytics. It's a tool that allows you to measure the traffic on your website very efficiently with a good amount of data. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, that sounds very boring. Why are you even covering this? And I'm covering this because this is a free and open source alternative to Google Analytics. If we go over here to their GitHub page, you can see all the source code for everything that's going on. And if you're somebody who is trying to de-Googlefy your life and you have websites, this is a really good alternative and a really good thing to test out and then potentially move forward with if you are trying to get Google services off of your website. Which for me, that is something that I'm trying to do, so this ended up being a really good solution to that. So with Plausible, you essentially have two options. You could either download the source code and actually host your own instance of it, kind of similar to how Bitwarden does their self-hosting thing. So if you have a way to host this yourself, it's completely free. You can view the code. Overall, it is a great option. They also have paid plans, which the paid plans is how they fund the project. Now you can see I have a 15-day trial. Well, 15 days left on the trial. It was a 30-day trial. I'm probably just going to end up paying them for this because it's a really good service and I want to support it. So the best way to support it would be to pay to use their servers. So for that, we're going to get into pricing. Now we can see in the last 2 weeks or so, I've had little over 11,000 page views. So if I were to hit upgrade, let's see how much this would cost me. It would cost me $12 because you can see their thresholds here, and $12 a month for this really is not that bad to support a free and open source project. Alternatively, and what I'm probably going to do is get the year plan, which will support the project just under $50 for the whole year. Now, if you go over to their main website, they do have a couple different pages that will explain the differences between this and Google AdSense. Essentially, Google Analytics adds trackers and stores and keeps data of your website visitors. This does not do that at all, as it goes over in this data ownership section. And then they talk about the open versus closed sourced and why that's important. And then it talks about the actual privacy of your visitors, so it will not collect or give you, the website owner, any sensitive or confidential data, but it will still give you just enough that you can make reasonable decisions about your website based on the analytics that it provides. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead, go over here, go back a little bit. This is my Plausible dashboard. Now, I am currently still running Google Analytics, and after I record this video, I'm going to end up dumping it because I really wanted to run both at the same time to actually test and see if there were any big differences. There's a little bit of differences, so if I go over here, let's say my peak was on Thursday, April 22nd. According to Plausible, I had 773 visitors. And if I go over here to Google Analytics, it's a little bit less, so it's 667. And that's actually users, and this is visitors. So I'm not exactly sure if it's page hits or unique visitors, but we can see that there's a difference, but it's not so dramatic that it's going to make a difference in the decision making for what kind of content's produced or anything like that. They both offer the active user now feature. So you can see over here, I have 6 users, and over here it's reporting 7 users. So if I go over here, I can actually see what web pages they're on. I have the Cooler Master, kind of tutorial guide, monitoring Ryzen temps, 5 things to do in Pop! OS. So you can see where current users are. You can see over here where they came from, and it's set up very similarly. So you can see right here what pages they're on. If I go over here to real-time reporting, I'm not exactly sure if it easily tells me where they came from. Yeah, it does. So over here, but overall I actually do prefer the simplicity and the visuals that Plausible provides versus something like Google Analytics. Granted, Google Analytics may provide a little bit more data. That data for me isn't too significant. As long as I know where people are coming from, where in the world they are, so I kind of know how to cater the content, and I can see what kind of devices they're on, so then I can also cater content and lay things out specific to that. Most people on my website come from desktops, which is nice, because then when I create guides and tutorials, I can kind of lay content out expecting that. And to switch from real time to something else, I could go over here. You could see all the different options, including custom range. But if I go to the last 7 days, it will give me all that data. If I go to 30 days, it will give me 30 days worth of data. But you can see I've only been using it for 2 weeks, just long enough to actually make this video and kind of know what I'm talking about and have some experiences with it. In addition to all these kind of tiles here for the top pages, top sources. You can see even more things. So on devices, I can see specifically what web browser people are using. So you can see, like, compared to normal websites, a lot of people visit my website using Firefox, which makes sense because it pushes free and open source software, Linux stuff. So from a percentage standpoint, Firefox is going to be a lot higher. We can see the entry pages and exit pages. So for example, here we see the home page has a really high exit page, exit number, but if I go over to entry, the home page is a little bit higher. So people who visit my website directly don't just go to the home page and leave, which is something that is very good. So a lot of people are at least visiting one article or something like that. Up here, we can see the unique visitors, the total page views, your bounce rate, and your average visit duration. All the data that you would expect to be able to get from a good analytics tool. And here you can also export the data. Now, if I go over here to my settings, you saw the subscription plan, but over here you could actually change the theming. I have the dark theming selected, but you can go ahead and switch it to light theming, which you can see here, and that is absolutely blinding. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that back. Now, if I go ahead and I click on their logo up here, it's going to take me to my sites, and you can see I only have TechHut.tv, but you can easily add multiple sites. I didn't really mention this works just like Google Analytics. To actually enable this on your website, you just submit a little script into your header tag, and then it will begin tracking all the movement on your website. And to actually go over and get to that, you go over to the My Sites page and you click on this little gear icon here, and then that will take you to all your specific settings for that website. So here we can see the JavaScript snippet that I just go ahead and add to the header of the website. I get my time zone, the actual domain. Over here under visibility, you can actually make it public. So right now in the description down below, you go ahead and check this out so you can view all my website analytics for yourself through the public dashboard. You could also do an embedded dashboard. So that's really cool. You go ahead and actually embed this into your website if you want to share that data with somebody, or even embed it onto your own dashboard, or really there's a lot that you could do with it. Now if I go up here, you can actually set specific goals. If I go under Search Console, you can integrate this directly with the Google Search Console stuff. Then you have email reports, custom domains, and if you go over down to the danger zone, this will reset all these statistics or completely delete the website off of this service altogether. So that's basically about it. It's nothing too complicated. It's just something that is definitely worth shouting out. Again, if you have a website or you know anybody who has a website and you ever need to suggest any analytics software, that is definitely one that I would recommend. I'm over here on Twitter because I've never really plugged this before. I do have a Twitter, so if you want to, go ahead and follow me there. I've definitely been using it a lot more lately than I used to, and it's also a good way to go ahead and contact me directly if you need to. With all that said, I do hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be links down below to everything I mentioned in this video. If you'd like to, leave a comment down below telling me how you're de-Googlifying your life. I'm currently in the process of this. I still have a lot to do to completely be free of that. For me, my next step is finding a good ad platform for the website that isn't as invasive as Google AdSense. Now, with all that said, I hope you have a beautiful day and goodbye.